Have you ever noticed that smell? The moment the first drops of rain hit the ground, before the storm even begins. There's this fresh, earthy scent in the air. It's calming, almost nostalgic, like the world just took a deep breath. But here's the strange part. You're not actually smelling the rain. So what are you smelling? And why does it feel so good? Welcome back to Simple Things Why and How, where we take simple questions and uncover the fascinating science behind them. Today's question is something we've all experienced but rarely think about. Why does rain smell so good? Let's find out. First, let's clear up a common misconception. Rain itself doesn't really have a smell. Pure water falling from the sky is almost odorless. The scent you notice when rain hits the ground actually comes from the earth. And scientists even have a name for it. It's called petrichor. Petrichor is the earthy aroma that's released when rain falls on dry soil. The word was first coined in the 1960s by Australian scientists who were trying to understand why this smell appears right before and during rainfall. So what creates it? There are a few things happening at once. During dry periods, plants release oils into the soil. These oils build up over time, especially when the weather is warm and dry. At the same time, certain soil-dwelling bacteria produce a compound called geosmin. Geosmin is incredibly powerful. Humans can detect it in extremely tiny amounts, even parts per trillion. That's how sensitive our noses are to it. When raindrops hit dry ground, they trap tiny air bubbles on the surface. Those bubbles then burst and shoot microscopic particles into the air, including geosmin and plant oils. Those particles travel through the air and straight into your nose. And that's the smell you experience. But there's another fascinating layer to this. Sometimes you can smell rain before it even starts. That slightly sharp, clean scent right before a thunderstorm? That can be caused by ozone. During storms, lightning splits oxygen molecules in the atmosphere. Those molecules can recombine into ozone, which has a distinct fresh smell. Winds from the storm can carry that scent ahead of the rain. So sometimes when you think you're smelling rain coming, you actually are. Now here's the part that makes this even more interesting. Why does it smell good? That's not an accident. Some scientists believe our love for the smell of rain might be evolutionary. For early humans, rain meant fresh water. It meant crops could grow. It meant survival. Being sensitive to that smell could have helped our ancestors detect approaching storms and find water sources. Over time, that earthy scent may have become associated with relief, renewal, and life. And even today, when rain hits dry land after a long, hot day, it feels refreshing, cooling, almost cleansing. There's also a psychological element. Smell is directly connected to the limbic system, the part of your brain responsible for memory and emotion. That's why certain smells instantly take you back to childhood. The smell of rain might remind you of playing outside, watching storms through a window, or feeling safe indoors during a downpour. So when you inhale that scent, it's not just chemistry, it's memory, it's emotion, it's comfort. And here's something else. The smell is strongest after a long dry period. Why? Because the oils and geosmin have had more time to build up in the soil. When rain finally falls, it releases a more concentrated burst of scent. That's why the first rain after a drought smells especially powerful. It's nature's reset button. But interestingly, not all rain smells the same. Rain in a forest smells different from rain in a city. In urban areas, rain can mix with oils on pavement, dust, and even pollutants, creating a slightly different scent. In the countryside, it's more earthy and organic. Your environment shapes the aroma. So the next time you step outside after the first rain and take that deep breath, remember, you're smelling microscopic particles launched into the air by bursting raindrops. You're smelling bacteria that live quietly in the soil. You're smelling plant oils released during dry days. And maybe you're smelling something your ancestors once relied on for survival. It's not just a pleasant scent. It's chemistry, biology, and history, all carried on a breeze. And somehow, your brain translates all of that into one simple feeling. This smells good. If you enjoy discovering the hidden science behind everyday experiences, make sure you subscribe to Simple Things Why and How. Because sometimes the simplest moments, like the smell of rain, have the most fascinating stories behind them. and I'll see you in the next one.